There's a lesson here that needs to be learned by everyone, really, but especially politicians. That fuck around and that lesson is fuck around and find out comes for us all. You are not immune to finding out just because you are a politician. No, sir. Quite the opposite, in fact. As NYC Mayoral candidate Brad Lander found out whenever he decided to disrupt ICE while they were trying to arrest some illegals. Shout out to the Associated Press. I love this story. This story's great. New York City Comptroller and Democratic mayoral candidate Brad Lander was arrested by federal agents at an immigration court Tuesday after he linked arms with a person authorities were attempting to detain. A reporter with the Associated Press and other journalists witnessed Lander's arrest at a federal building in Manhattan. The latest confrontation between U.S. agents and a Democratic politician objecting to the Trump administration's mass detention and deportation programs. You know, the stuff we voted for. There's a bunch of bad actors and assholes in the government who thinks that you don't know what's in your best interests. So even though you voted for a particular thing, they're not going to give it to you. And they're going to try their hardest to make sure you don't get it. Lander was released from custody after a few hours. The U.S. Attorney's Office said it was investigating his actions and would later decide whether to charge him with a crime. The immigrant Lander, escorted out of the courtroom, was also arrested, as he should have been. Of course, this is AP, so they're not going to call him an illegal. They're just going to call him a regular immigrant, which he's not. If ICE is after him, he's fucking it here illegally. Uh, Lander has spent the morning observing immigration court hearings and told an AP reporter he was there to accompany some immigrants out of the building because apparently he thought that with his presence there, ICE wouldn't get him. He was wrong. His confrontation with agents unfolded quickly as a group of agents moved in to detain a man who had exited a courtroom. Lander locked arms with the immigrant and demanded to see a judicial warrant. For more than 40 seconds, agents tried to physically separate the two, pulling both men down the hall in a chaotic scrum as photographers snapped photos. I wish I could have seen that. I wish there was video of it. Eventually, the agents rested the two apart, then grabbed Lander's arms and put them behind his back. You're obstructing, an agent told Lander. I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway, Lander said as he was being handcuffed. I mean, physically locking arms with a guy who's currently, like they're attempting, it's literally obstruction. They are attempting to arrest a guy and you are attempting to stop them. In a statement, U.S. Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said Lander, quote, was arrested for assaulting law enforcement and impeding a federal officer. Well, I mean, of course, based on if we take what AP told us here as the truth of what happened, he didn't assault an officer. He just was standing there resisting. After his release, Lander exited the building holding hands with his wife and accompanied by New York Governor Kathy Hochul, a Democrat, to the cheers of a gathered crowd. He told reporters all he was trying to do was hold the arm of a man being detained and certainly did not assault an officer. I actually probably don't think he actually. Cops is as on their side as I tend to be more often than not. They assaulting a police officer is way too easy peasy of a charge to get. Like the cops just throw that around. Like, oh, he assaulted a police officer. He literally was just standing there and not allowing you to throw him to the ground. He didn't hit you. He didn't like grab you. He just made it more difficult for you to throw him to the ground. Like, it's not assaulting a police officer or anything like that. Quote, I'm happy to report that I'm fine. I lost a button, Lander said, adding that he planned to return to the immigration court again as a form of non-violent way of standing up to Trump's immigration policies. Quote, I believe it is important to show up and bear witness and accompany people, he said. He added that the man ripped from his arms doesn't have a lawyer and will likely sleep in an immigration detention center. Good. He doesn't deserve a lawyer. If he's here illegally, he needs to just go. He added that the man, or I already read that part, my bad. The episode occurred as federal immigration officials are conducting large-scale arrests outside immigration courtrooms across the country. This is one of my favorite things that ICE is doing right now, by the way, and Homeland Security. They're literally just sitting outside in the hallways and outside the buildings of immigration court to scoop these people up as they're leaving immigration court, which is fucking hilarious to me. And I know some of you were thinking, but if they're an immigration court, they're trying. No, if you're in immigration court, it's because you snuck in illegally, you got caught, and rather than just detain and deport you immediately, you were given a hearing. So no, you get to get in the catapult and get launched back over the wall. In many cases, immigrants are arrested after a judge grants a government request to dismiss their case, making them eligible for expedited removal. They remove any opportunity for due process, Lander had told reporters earlier in the day. If they're illegals, they don't get due process. Due process is for citizens and legal residents, not for illegals. Lander's arrest comes with a little more than a month after Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ross Baraka was arrested on a trespassing charge outside a federal immigration detention center in his city, though the charge was later dropped. Baraka's fellow Democrat Rep. LaMonica McIver was charged with assaulting and impeding federal agents stemming from her role at the same visit as the mayor. From the same visit as the mayor, she denied the charges. I covered that before. Last week, Democratic U.S. Senator Alex Padilla was forcibly removed from a news conference in Los Angeles for Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem as he tried to speak about immigration raids. That's not what happened. AP is lying to you. He wasn't there to just speak about immigration raids. He didn't identify himself. He was screaming and he ran at Kristi Noem. Her security did the right thing. On Tuesday, he encouraged. It's just wow. The Associated Press. Keep in mind, a lot of the news websites that you read use the AP as a source, as one of their main sources, and the AP will just fucking lie to your face. Lander is a candidate in the city's Democratic mayoral primary. Early voting in the contest is underway, and the election is next week. Other candidates in the race quickly weighed in to criticize the arrest. It's likely that he did this on purpose in order to get his name out there to further his chances of becoming the mayor, or well, the Democratic mayoral candidate. Quote, this is the latest example of the extreme thuggery of Trump's ICE out of control. One can only imagine the fear families across our country feel when confronted with ICE, said former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who is running in the primary. Yeah, Cuomo's trying to become mayor of New York. So, yeah. The same Andrew Cuomo who stuck COVID patients in elderly homes, the few people who were actually vulnerable to being killed by COVID, and he stuck COVID patients into nursing homes. That Andrew Cuomo. Zoran Mamdani, the most left-leaning candidate, rushed to the federal building to offer support to Lander, as did Hochul, who condemned the arrest in a post on X by likening it to experiment. I don't know what that means. Whatever. I'm showing my ignorance. A spokesperson for U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton said in a brief statement that the office would prosecute any violation of federal law. Quote, the safety and security of official proceedings, government officials, law enforcement officers, and all members of the public who participate in them is a core focus of our office, said the spokesperson, Nicholas Biase? Base? I don't know how you pronounce that, but still. Like I said, this guy fucked around and he found out. We need more of this. We need politicians who act like idiots, who like a normal person, not a politician, who did this would get arrested and get the book thrown at them because this guy is a comptroller and running for mayor. He doesn't deserve just a smack on the wrist or to get his charges dropped. Like, these people are not above the law. Remember that mantra? No one is above the law. Period. End of story. Anyway, if you agree that no one is above the law or disagree, feel free to tell me in the comments below, and make sure to smash that like button and sub to the channel and follow the links in the description. Sub to all my other channels. Follow me on X. Come check out Clown World Chronicles over on Rumble and YouTube Saturday mornings on the Clown World Chronicles channel on Rumble and on my Go for Palpatine channel on YouTube. And then also check out my video game streams through the week at Clown World Gaming, both on YouTube and on Rumble. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Saturdays. But yeah, do the algorithm stuff. Throw me a bone.